Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Reckless Paradise podcast. I am your host, Dystro, and tonight is another breakdown episode. This one's it's gonna, I guess, I guess a proper way to say it. This one's kind of long overdue. It's another Blink album, and it is one from like the earlier days. This is 2001, and it's Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. One of the most like I guess polarizing albums of all time, I should say, in my opinion. Marissa had brought it up to me, and she was like, "Have we done this one before?" And I was like, "No, we haven't." So tonight's the night to do the breakdown for it. But you guys know the drill. Every episode that we do on this, we rank and break down every song, and we give it a 1 to 10 ranking, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. And let's just see how this goes, because we have to rank all 13 songs. Yes, there is 13 songs, and we round it all up, divided by how much tracks there are, and we get our number that way. So let's just get started. So the first song on the docket is Anthem Part 2. This is a three-part anthem series on all the Blink albums. The first one was on Enema of the State. This one was on the second one, and then the third one was on the latest album, One More Time. I personally believe, all three anthem parts were they suit their own roles and all that stuff. I guess the time frame and the time capsule. And yeah, so somebody had pointed out in one of the song meaning comments here. I'm using song meanings. Might not be the best thing in the world, but it's all right. It's here. This is about how today's youth is not being educated correctly or treated with the respect that it deserves. This brings up the fact that the teachers, parents, and adults make the rules. So why are they mad when kids make mistakes or turn out to be bad, as one might say? If we're fucked up, you're to blame. If the youth of today were cared for better, then perhaps there will be a better tomorrow for everyone. On one hand, I agree with this message that the youth of today need more guidance and attention, but then again, each person is held responsible for their own actions. And that is truly correct. Everybody is held for their own actions, and like back then, like in '01, it was kind of like a youth uprising sort of thing, kind of like in the punk rock culture with Sum 41 and Bad Religion and all that stuff. I would give this one a 9.5 out of 10. And it's a good start to the album in a way too, and kind of gets you more amped up for the songs to come. So we're heading on into the song number 2, which is Online Songs. This one I don't really kind of care for as much as Anthem Part 2. But some of these songs they're not gonna be the best more than others. But this one is just kind of talk maybe about like Josie, and it's talk about screen names and breaking up and knowing your ex's password and snooping in on his things, nothing better. um but then there's one comment that kind of says, well, my thing is actually very different, you see. Well, my friend Jake Asger, we like each other a lot, but we're not together. And well, this was his song to me, and he said it and basically means this: we break each other's hearts every time we walk, and we get over it quickly. I tease him, and he teases me. Hence, why am I still hanging around when I know it brings me down? Meaning, somehow I always fuck it up, but I always put it back together for him. He gets jealous of the other guys that I talk to him about. We both like each other so much and are similar, but something holds us back from being together. Um, and he says, just change Josie to CJ, and it's my song. Um, it's like, it's kind of like it's like, online, back then, you have like all these like different I guess different formats, and you use an AIM and Microsoft and all that stuff. So like it's not very memorable to me either. With this online songs, so I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. I know that's pretty low, but it's like again, it's not very memorable for me. So track number three is First Date. This one's automatically gonna get a 10 out of 10 for me. I don't really have to really talk much about it. It's talk about going on the first date and all that stuff. And it's like kind of being like how you get nervous on the first date. And we all do that. And with the music video involved, it's like it's in the 1970s and all that stuff, and like Tom, Mark, and Travis are like have like this long hair, and they're making fun of the Bee Gees and making fun of like their own selves and all that stuff. And it's just a good like time capsule, of the early 2000s. Like I said, it's 10 out of 10. Best, I guess, like one of the like one of the songs that like really helped put this album on the map. Because it got like a lot of like sales, like over 1 million sales. So next song is called "Happy Holidays, You Bastard." I mean, it's short and sweet and simple. It's funny. It's in its own way. Um, but one person had put, in the comments, this song is very deep. It is about Mark's struggles as different holidays approach, and how around the holidays it's very crazy, and you sometimes don't get everything done, and you get really mad. Now, Mark's grandfather had a colostomy bag, and he must eat a lot or he will pass out. And hot dogs digest faster than most other foods. And Mark is telling us how he is shitting his pants, that this makes him mad because Mark can just leave his grandfather at a party with his bag full. He has to empty it, and he's telling his grandfather that he will never talk to him again. Um, Again, this one's like it's very fast and all stuff. It's very funny. So I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10 as well. It's funny. It's cool. So on to track number five is Story of a Lonely Guy. This one's a kind of like one of those like not a song. It's a somber song, but it's not really like a love ballad song. Um, and I think it's about like Tom's kind of like going through the heartbreak sort of thing. But somebody had kind of broke down like verse by verse. Push it out, fake a smile, avert disaster just in time. This is like how putting up like a falsy front to everyone else, so not to be seen different, not letting people know about his problem, especially the girl that he likes. Talking about girl possesses me, but they'll never be mine, because he is so timid in nature around girls, or because he's a nice guy, girls take advantage of, not always deliberately, of this, and get him to do the things to the whim, and he will never get anywhere with them. Kind of like, like everybody goes through that heartbreak sort of thing. Just talk about the fact that the girl only sees him as a friend, and it makes him feel like crap. And it's kind of self-explanatory there. I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's a very good song too. And it kind of relates to me sometimes, so it's all right. On to song number six, Rock Show, or The Rock Show, I should say. This one's kind of self-explanatory too. It's talk about like hanging out by the club on the weekends and acting stupid and getting drunk with my best friends. Kind of I guess like self-explaining like their lives at that point. Kind of like how they got here and all that stuff. This one, it's got a good self-meaning to it. But it's kind of like saying like 17 without a purpose or direction. We don't owe anyone a fucking explanation. It kind of sums up being a teenager so well with that. I'm gonna give this, it's another 10 out of 10 for this album too. Um, and it's just like it's Blink. I mean, like why not? Like it's sometimes like when Blink does songs like with First Date and Lonely Guy and Rock Show and the next one that we're about to get to, they can pull the curtain back, be like, hey, like, like we're sometimes where we can be funny, we can be serious, and it's good when some bands can do that because then it kind of just makes them kind of seem like, okay, like, well, they can take themselves seriously, they can take themselves funny, like with Happy Holidays You Bastard. It's like a very fast and very funny song, but like, there's kind of like, I guess not like a juvenile tendency to them, but it's kind of like one of those like things like, okay, like we need to put like a little fast funny song in there, um and to like kind of break the tension and then go back to the serious stuff. Um, like with this next track number 7, "Stay Together for the Kids." This one's gonna be, it's a tough one to kind of swallow, for some people, because like it's dealing with parents splitting up, divorce, and all stuff, and it kind of like excuse me, it tells you the story of like how like a family can bring people together, but when the mom and the dad kind of like split up, it kind of breaks the child's heart and it kind of makes them torn and it kind of makes the house seem so, I guess like it makes it feel fall apart. And it's felt like, like the parents are being spoken about are still together just fighting all the time, and the parents are staying together just for the kids. The parents are always wanting a divorce, but they stay together specifically, perhaps that's somebody's opinion. This is the situation between their parents, um, and it's kind of like, it's self-explanatory too. It's about the parents staying together when they blatantly wanted to get a divorce. Mine have this one person said like they haven't hardly spoken in 3 years, and when they do, it's just a blazing argument. Um, it's just like what a kid goes through on a daily basis, talking about like their parents going at each other's throats and all this stuff. It's an automatically like 10 out of 10 for me, and for Marissa as well, because this one kind of resonates with her for a little bit, and well, for forever I should say, because she had went through the exact same thing. um but yeah, so halfway through, gonna take a little break here to get some water, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So sorry about that. I had to do a little like funny little thing. So the next song is song number 8, is called Roller Coaster. This one's about how a guy really likes a chick, and their relationship is like a roller coaster. It has its highs and its lows. There are times when you want to be with them and lay beside them, and then there's sometimes when you want to drive your car off a fucking cliff. It's a truthful song about relationships and how they have their highs and lows, ups and downs, lefts and rights, whatever. Um, I don't really, I haven't really listened to this song very much. The only takeaways that I have is like, it's like Anthem Part 2 and First Date and Happy Holidays You Bastard, Story of a Lonely Guy, The Rock Show, Stay Together for the Kids. I think this one's kind of a sleeper in my opinion. Some may say it might be not a sleeper. Um, but I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. I don't want to be like too harsh on it, because it's like it's like one of those songs that I really don't really know much about. Um, but yeah, I mean, gotta give it some props here. All right, song number 9, "Reckless Abandon." Another one that is sang around here on the Breakfast Paradise podcast after hours. It's just like we always talk about it and stuff like that. Um, there was I like when I'm looking in the comments, some people are saying like you could hear some talking in the background. Um, this one person says, reminds me of whenever my parents would glob out of town or go out of town, and it's really talking about how much fun they had and how great everything was, but it's really just to make someone feel happy because they end up really fucked up and totally scarred for life. We use this song to lead you on. Um, and it is a really good song. And it's about teenagers. It's like teenage angst. I think that's the whole theme of this whole album, in my opinion. So with that being said, I'm gonna give Reckless Abandon a 9 out of 10. A 9 out of 10. Um, and it's a really good song. I think this one and Roller Coaster are kind of like two sleeper hits. Kind of doesn't get really recognized that much. Um, but yeah, let's go on. Let's move on to track number 10, which is Every Time I Look for You. I would say this one's kind of, excuse me, this one's kind of like, kind of towards like, like angst, teenage angst sometimes. This one person has says, wow, I can't English today. This song has a lot of symbolism. The sun represents a girl's availability, and when it's up, she is single. But when he doesn't seem to notice, or what he doesn't really seem to notice or care, when the sun is up, but when the sun goes down, or she starts to see someone, he wants to get with her. This happens a few times, and he realizes that he never goes after her until he can't have her. That's what I got from it. And then somebody said, listen to the movie Life. Um, I got that. I didn't realize that at all. Which is a good pointing out to this one person, for doing that. Um, it makes you think about certain things. I guess I might have to listen to this one again. Um, but for now, I'm gonna give it an 8. An 8. Alright, so now on track number 11, Give Me One Good Reason. The first opening line, Mom and Dad, they quite don't understand it. All the kids, they laugh as if they planned it. Why do girls want to pierce their nose and walk around in torn pantyhose? I'm thinking this is kind of like a short one as well. But this one person kind of like summed it up in like a good way. I really don't give a shit if it's punk or if I'm a punk. Just listen to the fucking song. I can't believe people are arguing over fucking clothes and saying if you want to listen to Blink, you're a poser. What if I don't know, like their music? And then this next person kind of sums it up a little bit clearer. Was talking about the song always amuses me. Don't hate us just because we're part of a group that thinks differently to you. Hate the jocks and preps, the hippie fucking scumbags, heavy metalers with their awful pussy hair bands. And oh, by the way, we hate all the groups that think differently to the way we do. It's so many alternative music fans at their core, only if this song was meant to be ironic. Well said. Well said. Again, like I didn't really care for this song, but I'm not gonna put it too low. I would have to listen to it again to give it a more fair shot. So I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Just to be fair, just to be generous, because this one was kind of like one of those like breeze ones for me. Again, like some of these songs, I do not recommend. I do not know a lot about some of these sets. Um, but this next song is called "Shut Up," and it's not from Simple Plan. Like whatever. Excuse me. And this one's like it's very the first opening lyrics. Shut the fuck up. She said, "I'm going fucking deaf. You're always too loud. Everything's too loud." Um, and I think this one's kind of like one of those like not a funny one, but it's kind of like one of those like just talking about like feelings and all that stuff um like how teenagers will get told to shut up by their own parents and being like like shut up like whatever. um I don't know how to really give this one a rating, to be honest with you, because I kind of take it as like a kind of like a funny haha sort of song. It's not fast paced at all. It's like maybe like 2.5 minutes, maybe 2:15. um I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10 here. Again, it's like some of these songs, it's like it's kind of hit or miss for some of them. Can't really wait to see how this um final scoring will be. Um, On to the last final song. Song track number 13 is called "Please Take Me Home." I'm thinking this one's kind of gonna be like a somber one. Um, Again, like this, me and Marissa, we had listened to "Take Off Your Pants and Jacket" not too long, like a year or two ago. Um, and it's kind of like blinking you miss it, huh? No pun intended. But yeah, it's I guess it's just like one of those things where it's like I would have to listen to the whole album again. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like, oh boy. So the basic gist of this is it just talks about how hard it is for a guy and a girl to be friends without falling for each other. Oh no, it happened again. She's hot. She's my friend, and it always happens to this one person. And it kind of just this whole album as a whole just kind of symbolizes like that time period of like early 2000s, like teenagers falling in love and kind of just being like, like fuck what my parents say and all that stuff. But then it's like gotta try to find that love in high school and in middle school and all that stuff. Which is like it's ironic because like some people now today are doing that. And it's kind of like being teenage angst and all that stuff too. Um, and it's it's kind of tough to kind of like I guess like if I had booked like if I had planned the songs in my head, um I would have opened up like with Anthem Part 2 and kind of ended with maybe First Date maybe. Um but that's just me. But I will get back to you guys when I get the whole tally up, so please stay tuned. Alright, so I tallied up all the scores of all 13 songs and kind of, did it, mathematically. I ended up with an 86.9. It kind of sounds pretty low, but I think the reason why it's like that is because track, I think 13, 12, it's 13, 12, 11, and 10. It kind of just, I don't know, it just feels like not too, I guess, Blink 182 for me. And also, like, Online Songs is, like, the worst song on, I think, the whole album, I think. It's not the worst album, it's not the worst song in the world, but it's like one of those like songs that really like need to be on on the album as a whole. But that's just me. Everybody's got their own opinion, right? Um, but oh no, it's a good album. It's very highly regarded album. If you had to take away a few songs from it, I would say First Date, Story of a Lonely Guy, The Rock Show, Stay Together for the Kids, Reckless Abandon, to the five like main songs off the album. But yeah, that is it. That is another breakdown in the books for Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, and that is our show. Thank you very, very much for listening and or watching. If you made it to the very end of this video, please make sure to like and subscribe and turn on your post notifications so you'll never miss an upload. And it'll sorry. And at the end of the episode, there will be a link in the description down below, which will take you to our link tree, which will take you to our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, um, Reddit page. I'm trying to think off the fly. Reddit page and my game YouTube channel is on there. And tonight's song of the night it is First Date. It's a very highly popular song at this point. And yeah, that is it. And I will see you next Thursday for another episode of Reckless Paradise Podcast. Stay safe, everyone. Stay safe, everyone. Peace.